Well, welcome to the big time. Here I am. I'm at a Google property in New York. I'm headed to meet Ariel. Now, we're off to a good start because I've done Ariel's show a number of times, and it generally walks in where you go into the loading dock, you get in a basement, and then you go like 3 stories down closer to hell to get to his studio, which is laced with boxes of like potato chips and other. You get in there. We went up. We're up several. Oh my God, you guys got to see this. You guys see, this is beautiful. Oh my goodness. All right, Ariel, moving in the right direction. I'm following you, my man. So I'm gonna go in and discuss some MMA with Ariel. Now, I gotta give a correction to you guys. I took a great big bow for being the only one that was right, that Tom Aspinall is immediately stripped upon the bell ringing for Jon Jones's return. And James comes to me. I didn't catch the press conference. James comes to me to tell me that at the press conference, Dana was asked that very question, and Dana did it. Oh my God, they got catering here. This must not be Ariel's. Is this for Ariel's little people, the catering? Like, we're not supposed to touch that?
There's other food for us.
Yeah, we can't touch that. Yeah, other food for us. Gonna be a bag of those potato chips I was telling you about. Ariel's offer somebody a meal. What was I thinking? This is the green. Whoa. Wow. Let me turn this around, guys. That's my mother, Claudia. She's trying to kick heroin for the second time, so I got to keep an eye on her. Right now, we're going around. That's a beautiful green room. She's not really on heroin. So, what was I talking about before you interrupted me, Mom? What was I talking about? Ariel and something about
that you were the person.
Tom.
Yeah.
Tom Aspinall. So James sends me a message that Dana gets asked the question at the post-fight press conference, is Tom relieved of duties in terms of being an interim champion? Dana says yes. So I went on ESPN. I tell this to Daniel yesterday, and I only bring this to your attention because I'm telling you the guys this from Jump Street. Not that it overly matters. It matters in this context. If you have an interim champion, right, and we fiercely adhere to the rules that we make up as we go, but if you have an interim champion, he fights the undisputed champion. Now, John Stipe was a unique situation because that was signed prior to the creation of the interim champion. So we didn't change the rule. We just followed through with the plan. Now, you cannot have an interim champion at the same time simultaneously with an undisputed champion. You cannot do that. So the moment the bell rings for the undisputed champions fight, the interim championship, by virtue of definition, is gone. And I called Mark Ratner's office just to confirm that. That would go through government affairs. And I didn't speak to Mr. Ratner, but I called his office. I ran that past them. They said, Chael, you are correct. When the bell rings, Tom will automatically no longer be the interim champion. I said, can I quote you on that? They said, no, do not quote me on that. All right, fair enough. But I ran with this bit, and the reason I do it is because Tom is working very hard to get the Jon Jones fight. And Jon is working very hard to act as though maybe I'll do it and maybe I won't. Jon's position strengthens greatly if Tom is not the interim champion. Now, Jon's argument falls on its face if Tom is the interim champion, because now Jon has 2 choices, right? Fight Tom or don't fight anybody, of which case he would be stripped and vacated of his title. But he would not be subject to that if Tom is not the interim champion. It will go back to you. It will go back to a mandate of the masses, which is what you must have to fight for a title. So it does add a massive relevance. And you might not feel it today. You might still be drunk on excitement from the car, and Tom was sitting in the front row, and it's going to be Tom versus Jay. It doesn't work that way. A couple of weeks go by, all of a sudden somebody else emerges. Cyril Gane and Volkov got a big fight coming up. All of a sudden, one of them cuts a promo, and it starts getting your eye in a different direction. I mean, not for nothing. Those things can change very fast. Tom and Cyril were going to fight until an interview. One interview is what cost that fight, which cost Cyril a shot at an interim championship, by the way. So, okay. I told you guys I owe you a correction. So I didn't see the press conference. I just got a text from James. So I went around telling people, I got it right. I got it right. Chael's right. Well, I can't find that anywhere. So then I actually called back to Mark Ratner's office, Government Affairs, and I said, I'm told that this happened at the press conference. Is that accurate? They said, we watched the press conference. Nothing like that came up. So I'm guessing that James gave me bad information, but I don't know how he got that information. That's a very weird thing to think that you heard, but I am a little bit unclear on it. And the only reason it's not like Tom. You think, oh, what's Tom care? Well, I understand that, but I watched this happen to Colby Covington. Colby was clearly the number one contender. Can't get a title shot. Colby was the interim champion who never lost or missed a match. Woke up one day, was no longer interim champion. Colby beat the reigning BMF champion, never became the BMF champion. Like, words matter in this industry very much. Words, escalation, participation, title, scratch weight. These words have legal implication with them. So we're not over here just discussing things to discuss it. They matter very deeply. I'm assuming my information was wrong, and I'm assuming Tom is the interim champion, and that requires explanation. Because if Tom is the interim champion, then Jon is not the undisputed champion. Do you understand that you can't have both? Now, before you ever get to that point, you cannot have an interim champion in the presence of the undisputed champion. But if Tom is the interim champion, as it appears, then what's Jon? Because what they fought for was the undisputed heavyweight title. If Tom's got a belt, then again, not Chael's rules. By proxy of definition, if Tom is the interim champion, Jon is not undisputed.